Okay, it's May 10th, 2025, and Project Blue is still alive. This is update number 4, and this is the third take. The first two had some audio issues. Um, so, a little excited to tell you about the ESP32 S3 dual mode display. So, we already have our streaming desktop, but now we're doing VGA and thus HDMI with a little $10 converter. So everything is in dual mode for this demonstration, and I'll be using my phone. I can't for VGA. I have to because it's direct VGA from the board, and VGA is made from scratch. It's not using anybody's library, not BitLoonies or FabGL or somebody else. It's made from scratch, so you know it's from the ground up, and it's accelerated using the parallel port. Sorry, not parallel port, the LCD port on the S3. It makes it possible to get insane levels of frame rate because you're not constrained by bandwidth of the network anymore when you're doing VGA. So this entire presentation will be um, in dual mode. And the SD card function, so I didn't have an SD card, so I finally got one, a little SD card board, and now we have full functions: read, write, list, edit, and more functions are on the way. And this is from within the desktop. This is not in code or you know from Arduino, Serial Console. No, none of that. It's from just like Windows, right? Point and click, and basically read everything is listed in Windows, and you can work with it through that. We'll show you that. I've implemented external modules that, like I talked about. So external UI controls for desktop can be written in these little text files, and you put it on your SD card or in your net drive that's being shared. Once the S3 board can access it, either through the network or from the SD card, which is probably the easiest, um, and then you can uh, input. You can basically import these UI controls on the desktop, right? So it's not like a fixed Windows anymore. It's programmable, and we're in the early days, right? So things are just getting started, and this is all new. We just got it. I just got it running, so just wanted to do a quick little video to show what's being worked on. And I lost a lot of sleep over this. I was up, doing the resistor diagram until like 5 o'clock in the morning, getting very little sleep, but so excited to move very quickly and try to get things done. Issues with tools and you know all kinds of problems and things like that, but we're trying to work through it. I'm trying to work through it and bring something really cool and interesting to the table. Um, so the external modules, I think, is going to be the new thing moving forward, where certain controls can be uh, like attributes and stuff of Windows, and what, like if you click a button, what does it do? Create your own button, different colors, different text on it, and I'll demonstrate that, and different functions and stuff. And then initial version of Project Blue, our very own text editor. Yeah, in a very early stage, just got it working today. So it looks kind of crappy, but it is functional and it does work with the SD card. I haven't integrated the net drive function to it yet, but then you can from the board, point and click, you can access files from your computer, or from the internet, or from Google Drive or whatever, um, just like you can in Windows, right? So it's amazing. I mean, it's amazing what you can do with this board. And then at the very end, we'll do an S3 direct board direct to HDMI and VGA animation and slideshow. And this is just code I had, test code, just to test out the VGA functionality. I just put in a slideshow format to basically end this little update. Okay, I hope you like it, and I just want to show you that Project Blues moving forward and some of the things that is being worked on. Okay, have a good day. Okay, and this is just our stable test pattern, just to make sure that some of the colors are correct and everything else is working. It's 800 by 600. It doesn't flicker when there's no bus contention. It depends how you read and write to it. But anyways, we got a stable pattern. Okay, so this is the setup. This is VGA working, and it's about 40 frames per second. We can pump that up to 60 frames per second if we want. We're using the parallel port for acceleration, and we're not using any libraries, no BitLooney library or FabGL or anything like that. It's from scratch, so it's working perfectly. This is the setup. It's a resistor DAC, ESP32 S3 board, SD card, and we're going to move to a pref board. That's going to make it nice and clean. So this is the monstrosity here. We don't want that. So this is just a simple pattern test to make sure VGA is working for our dual desktop. Okay, so this is just another test pattern. Let me zooming on it. The background should be black, but there's some issues with the code. So we're just testing animation with PS buffer, DMA, and hardware acceleration from the parallel port. From the LCD port, parallel port. So we're using the ESP32S3 LCD port to do really quick work. I think this is close to like 30 to 40 frames per second. And you can see some flickering, but that's just noise on the circuit here. The circuit is just really noisy. So we're just trying to figure out, how we can best output the highest quality VGA without taxing the CPU and still doing two modes, dual mode. So we're able to do this. And this is just a test. We're just, it's the first time we're doing VGA from scratch, So I just want to show the flickering that I'm talking about. So it's 800 by 600. This is bus contention. So this is what happens with the SPI bus if, that's the flickering I'm talking about. So anyways, there's ways to work around that. Okay, so another test pattern. This is a rotating cube, randomly rotating cube. It blinks, I guess. But it is 640 by 480. So that one, the camera, my phone camera doesn't have an issue picking that up. So it's doing fine with that. Okay, just another test pattern. VGA from scratch. Okay, so got a little treat. So this is actually dual mode. So we have our web interface here. Here, I'll just get rid of this. Move this. And you can see everything I have here is mirrored on here. So basically, yeah, so I wish I had it side by side so I could basically show that, but um, yeah, it's basically dual mode. So what we're able to do here, so we're able to move things around and see it on the VGA screen as well as on the computer. So it's going to move this down here, and you can see that I could move the button around. And I'm not sure why the background is not gray. It should be, we have a problem with the deck. I probably hit it with my hand or something. I gotta fix that later. But the functionality is there, right? So, here, let's get all this stuff out of the way. Let's get this out of the way. Get that out of the way. Move this over here. And, let's add, oh, where's our, oh, we moved it. Surely, yeah, it still works. Okay, so a couple of things. So we have dual mode now. So whatever we're piping, so this is the board, right? So whatever the board is sending to the VGA screen, it's also obviously sending to our remote desktop. And whatever I do here, let's say I access the SD card and get a list of files, right? Then I'll make it bigger. Yeah. So I gotta fix that so that it actually shows what you select, just like this one. But basically, what's going on here is sorry. Let's just do some of the controls here. Make sure they work. Okay. Yeah. So basically, what we're able to do is we're able to have two dual mode. So we have the VGA, obviously, and we also have the streaming desktop. So now we're doing both, so we can have that feature, and you'll basically you'll be able to enable. You'll be able to enable or disable that feature. So I'll just scroll down here. You can see that it's actually working. Well, you can't really see that, eh? But so I'll just click an item here and just delete. So that's working. And yeah, basically, let me get out of full screen mode here. Let's go here. I'll just set it to like 3 frames per second. But yeah, so this is the new thing that we're doing. It's basically the dual desktop. And we have everything working. And oh, by the way, so these files are actually so we have WebDrive now that's able to have all these functions here. Right now it's not enabled, but it's just like a Windows file browser, and we'll basically be able to move files around and edit files, like basically copy, edit, delete, rename properties, refresh, and all that stuff, just like you can do in Windows. And this is actually the real file list from. It really is the real file list from the SD card. So it's populating this window here with with files from the SD card, and we'll be able to actually have double click for directories and stuff like that. So it's really nice. You'll have all your directory features here. Yeah. So we have this working. I just wanted to show you that. Let's go back to full screen. Screen capture is obviously much better, but if I was capturing the screen, I wouldn't be able to show you the monitor. So I'll just move some things around. So I'll move this back here, and you can see that it's whatever you do on the desktop, it's being done to VGA. So like if I move this, let me resize this window on the computer, right? So basically it's being put this up here. This is the background should be gray. I'll fix that, but everything else is pretty much there. So yeah, dual mode. Whatever you do in the web browser, it's coming on VGA. So full control. And yeah, WebDrive with SD card access is working now. So it's a real thing. Yeah, Project Blue is getting very interesting now. So I just want to show you that I'm connected to the desktop right now. I'm going to go full screen, and we have the same screen using a VGA to HDMI adapter, right? We're able to just pull this out here. So we're able to actually pump it to HDMI monitor. So I mean, it's pretty incredible. Again, just the same demo here. So yeah, I mean, it's better than a VGA monitor, right? So you can pump it to any size HDMI. So now we have our dual desktop working. Let's just pull up I don't know, a list box. So LISD1 from SD card modules, right? Sorry, list one. List and there it is. So it's much better to pick up on the from the HDMI from the flat screen. So if I do that, see that, maybe I can get them both at the same time. Oh no, I can't, eh? Oh, maybe I can. Maybe I can. So let's move it around. Resize it. Resize. Yeah, resize. Yeah, so who says that you can't get HDMI from the ESP S3 board? Well, guess what? Now you can interact with your S3 board with HDMI output, just like you can from a computer, right? Now you have a programmable way to do scripts and stuff like that. So let's go circle. And I have text boxes and all the controls basically. So yeah, there you go. That's exactly what's on here. So yeah, it's so much easier to show you this than the VGA monitor. It's noisy. You can clearly, maybe you can't see it, but it is noisy. But it's noisy because I have this monstrosity here, and I'm going to be moving, to a pref board. Hopefully, that'll cut the noise down. But it's just so beautiful to have your desktop on the big screen. It's pretty sweet. Element deleted, and you can see even the colors with the weighted resistor DAC that I'm using. It's not too bad. I mean, it's you have your dark blue and you have your purple there, dark blue. You can't really see it very well in the on the screen, but that's what it is. So that's what a standard window would look like in the UI, right? And now we have that same window. If you don't want to work on a computer, you want to do an HDMI flat screen. Well, your flat screen now has your desktop without streaming it. So this is directly from the board to a VGA to HDMI adapter. I bought this adapter for $10, $11 on Amazon, and so now your board is actually connected to your flat screen, and you can use your graphical desktop to do stuff on your S3. So it's pretty much a computer, right? Which is pretty cool. At least I think it's pretty cool. I don't know about you guys. Maybe you don't think it's cool at all. But the important thing here is the modules. So now we're adding programmable modules to, and this is on this SD card. I don't know if you can see it here, but this is the SD card module, and I got a mini SD card in there. And basically put some files with some functions, and then I could call it up. So you can change the text on the windows. Like, let's go. What else do we have? I forgot what else I have here. Hang on, give me a minute. Let's see what else. What other things do we have? Here, it's modules, squares, radio buttons. Let's do window 1 and radio 1. Window 1 and radio 1. Okay. Windows 1. Window 1. Load it. Dynamic window. So basically that's what it is. We're just loading a window right now. You can change the properties of this window in the text file. So you can edit the text file. You can put whatever, you can put whatever name you want here. Obviously in VGA it's not going to show the cursor. The cursor is just on your computer. So, but a mouse, right? So we'll fix that. We'll put a cursor on there as well, because it's being piped out in real time. But so the board now is connected to your monitor in real time. It's not going through the network for that. Just, of course, your desktop. That's how you control everything. So these are programmable now. So basically what I'm saying is you can make apps for the desktop now, right? We're in the early days. It's just beginning. But geez, man, I mean, this is gorgeous. This is like super gorgeous. Move things around. I'm sorry, I'm not getting the best video here. I'm going to delete the UI. So radio 1. Load radio 1. Radio 1. Okay. So this one is kind of messed up. Yeah, some controls. This is like, I just did this, so it's basically early days. We're working on it right now. So, but I just want to show you that. I mean, you have dual displays, and now you have modular functionality. Okay, so here we are. So VGA is up before, because it's hardware connected to the board, right? So there's the board, It's connected through the VGA cable. There's a breakout box, blah blah blah, and VGA is up. Um, you know, even before you connect to the internet, you connect to your router and stuff. So let's just connect and go full screen. And what this is we're doing modules now. So we're moving from just testing the desktop to a dual mode thing. So you can have VGA as well as your desktop. And now we can do modules. So basically, if I click that, I can say, and this is like loading UI elements from the SD card, and that allows you to change the element and the settings in the element so that you can. So this is what it looks like on VGA. It's actually pretty sweet. So what you can do now is, let's say we want to load a button 1, and it has to be an SD card. If not, it'll say that it's not there, right? Click on that, and there's your button. It says I am button, and now I can double click it, and I am button. You clicked me. So basically, it's allowing the user to programmatically add elements to the desktop to interact with the desktop. Like I said, we'll have scripts. You'll be able to click a button and you'll be able to click a button and be able to interact with the peripherals of the ESP32S3 and ESP32, right? So let's load another element, like let's say circle, C R C L E 1, and so now I can move that around, and you can see that as I move it on the desktop, I'm able to move it here as well. I could resize it. Resize the circle. You can see the color. Like, I don't know what happened with my deck before, but it's working now, and we're able to do that. So, it's pretty cool that now we can add UI elements. We can edit the UI elements in a text file, the attributes on a text file. In the SD card, so we're reading from SD card now, and basically write scripts and write little programs, little apps and stuff like that for the ESP32S3 using Project Blue, and I think that's pretty cool. So let's load list box, for example. List box 1, and there it is. List box 1. So I'm just gonna go list box 1. Move it around a little bit. Resize it. And select it. Select an item. Selected. Okay, cool. And pretty much, yeah, so dual display, dual mode is working. Programmatic, adding UI elements from the SD card or net drive, so it can be on your computer, is working, and looks like Project Blue is moving forward. Okay, so I just want to show you, VJ comes up, right? VGA comes up. Sorry, not VGA, but well, it is VGA, but HDMI comes up before you go online. And let me just connect here. Go full screen. And what is this? This is the first text editor that can access the SD card and edit any text file there. So, working in dual mode, so pumping out on your flat screen and your computer at the same time. Okay, so let's go File, Open, right? And these are the files on the SD card, and you can see I got my file editor. Let's see if you can see. So you can select it from SD card or web drive. And web drive will just be like a folder on your computer that you'll be able to drag and drop files directly to the S3 board, which is pretty incredible. Just from a GUI interface, right? So these are the files. So let's take a look at list box 1, for example, right? List box 1. So I mean, this is just amazing, man. Like we're literally, you know, driving the flat screen with the S3, driving the flat screen with the S3, right? Mirroring, you know, what we're doing in our streaming desktop here. So we're gonna open the SD card. We're gonna open this file on the SD card called listbox1. So we're gonna click open, and we have the contents of this. So this is a structure, because remember we're loading modules now from SD card, and the modules allows the user to define the attributes of the UI element on the desktop, so making it programmable. So if you want to make a button a different color, this is where you do it. Some things you can't change, but title, for example, dynamic list. So let's load. Let's put the editor over here, right? Let's put it over here, and load the UI. It's called listbox1, right? So let's load listbox1, listbox1, and this is all reading the stuff from the SD card. So this is what happens. So this, it says dynamic list, you know, apples, bananas, cherries, and dates, and the title is dynamic list. So we're going to close that. I'm going to reset this thing here. Just give me a minute. I forgot that the web editor disappears when can only have one element at a time. This is just early, like I just made this, so this has just been made, so it's early days. Anyway, so let's go back to File, Open, and the contents of the SD card. Let's choose list box. Let's open that, and there's what we saw for that element, right? So that's what we saw for this element. So let's change the title. Let's not say dynamic element anymore. So we'll remove that. And we'll put actually, you know what? Let's not do that. Let's go File, Close. Let's not save that. Okay. So let's go File, Open, and the clear is not working. You can see that right now. This box 1, open. Okay, title. Okay, we can't delete the title keyword. We can just delete the. Okay. I'll call it. And yeah, let's just do that for now. This box 1. Yeah, let's just do that for now. And you go File, Save. So it's been saved. Okay. What about the properties of this box 1? So it tells you the properties. 265 bytes, 18 lines, okay. So let's make it. It's hard to hold the. It's hard to hold the camera and type and use the mouse at the same time. So let's change banana. Let's change banana to. Let's change banana to Julian. Okay, let's put that there. And let's go File, Save. Okay, save item, this box 1. Okay, so now I'll just close the text editor. If I go load and I go this box 1 load, here's my window, and the title is not working. So obviously I did something wrong with the title there. But in any case, you can see the text have changed. So I've edited that text and I've edited that element, right? So you can really open any text file. It doesn't have to be an element. Once it's a text file, you can open it. So it's pretty incredible. Let me just reset for a minute here. Wow, we're piping DS3 into HDMI. Okay, so let me get out of here. Just give me a minute. Reset, connect. Okay, full screen. Okay, so let's look at some other files here. So here's the file menu. We want, let's say test file 2, for example. Let's open that. That's not a module, right? That's not a module. So if we go B, let's just remove that and say hello. Oh God, it's hard to hold the phone and type. Let's type hello. Hello world. Okay, there we go. File, save. So that's saved. God, this monitor is huge. For my desk, I'm not used to having like a huge monitor like this. But I mean, it's nice to have HDMI out from this board. So we'll click yeah, and we'll open a different one because clear doesn't work. So we'll open radio 1. So this is the contents of Radio 1. So now let's go File, Open, and go to File 2 again, and Open, and you can see it's worked. So our text editor does work, and we're editing text in a window. It's the first full, well, not full, but it's the first app that uses the SD card. Obviously WebDrive is going to do that as well, and does do that, but I mean it doesn't have all the functions there yet. But I'm just trying to show you, like, we have dual display. I mean, this is incredible, man. Like, look at this. This is really cool. We basically have dual desktop. We have modules now where you can change attributes of the UI from a text file, right? So you can write code for simple. It's very simple right now. You can't turn peripherals on and off and interact with the peripherals, but I mean, just the dual display alone, you know, having it, you know, output the Windows 95, the windowing into HD, not HD, but in HDMI. It's pretty cool, flat screens. And you still have, from any device, you can pull it up and control it and all that. And now you can have you can have a text editor, and you can have file functionality like file browsers and stuff like that. I think that's really pretty amazing, and this is all from, like I said, a $5 board. So, you know, you saw some of the VGA functions earlier, right? Actually, just as a bonus, this is just a quick update, right? Just as a bonus, I'm actually going to replay some of those VGA things that we were watching, and the VGA test patterns that we were watching on the VGA monitor, and pipe it to this HDMI flat screen. Give me a minute here. Okay, so this is this LCD screen here. I can't really see it, but it's rendering like a crap ton of dots. I'm just doing a pattern test. So again, the board is connected to HDMI, and so now it's doing like Veronal, but it's doing it at frame, because we don't have to worry about compression and sending it to the network now. I mean, it's doing it like 80 frames a second, you know, 80 to like 100 frames depending on the calculation required for the routine, right? So some ones like this, it's like almost 300 frames per second. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous, but stuff that does take calculation and things like that, then you'll only get, you know, maybe 30 frames per second or 20 frames per second. But other things, you can get like very high frame rates. So let's say we weren't doing a streaming desktop, and we were just doing we weren't doing a streaming desktop. We were doing this is what it looks like. Our eyes can't see that. We're just doing VGA and then putting that through to HDMI. That you can get like insane frame rates. You can do like really crazy games and you know, GUI stuff that you can't do on a network, because, you know, with the network you have to compress it and you have to send it, and you have to wait for the browser to render before you send the next frame. So there's massive delays and stuff, and there's only so much. You know, this is we're getting like 80 frames per second with that animation you just saw. So just hope you guys like that. Okay, so here's our board, and this is our HDMI flat screen, and we're just gonna plug the board in now to here. Just give me a minute. Plug the board in, and we're just gonna do some VGA test patterns. So I hope you guys like this one. I don't know if you're seeing it very well, but okay, here we go. there's no music to this. It's just, some test patterns. Since we just got VGA working recently. Zero standard rainbow noise. I just want to show you, what the ESP32S3 can do. If you're not constrained by the network. I mean, some of these, I had to dumb it down to 300 to 30 frames per second but it's not doing that. Some of them is 100 frames, depending on how simple the routine is, right? So when you're not constrained by bandwidth and you have to pump stuff over the network, I mean, you can go literally crazy on the frame rates. And this board is intense. I mean, it's intense what you can do when you don't have that network component. I've tried to slow this down. It's it can run at 300 frames per second because it's optimized code. I'm using DMA and things like that, right? So I try to slow it down, and I can't. I mean, I could slow it down I try to slow it down to 30 frames per second. I'm still getting 100 frames or something like that. It really depends how computational intensive the algorithm is, right? But I mean, it's really crazy. And these are, I don't know if you can see it there, but it's amazing what you can do with this board, and it's just incredible. I mean, it's not just the amount of pixel that you can pump out. It's basically the rate that you can do it. Now we're only in. Oh, here's rainbow noise, something that I really love. And it's just incredible. That's a lot of pixels. That's a lot of pixels. Yeah. A lot of pixels. Right. So just a little treat. I mean, you don't need to see this. We're doing the desktop stuff, but it's just. I thought it might be cool. Somebody might be interested. I mean, this is our board, right? And we're basically, we've created a display for keyboard, mouse, a full UI, right? So it's like pumping out Windows 95 to your flat screen, right? So it doesn't matter how small or big your display is, you can pump it into any display of any size because now it's HDMI. So we've basically added via VGA HDMI support for the S3 on the cheap, because we're doing resistor DACs and stuff like that. Look at this pattern; it's so stunning. It's absolutely stunning. It's amazing what the S3 can do, and it's changing patterns. I've only put it to 10 seconds, but you can sit there and be mesmerized. It's really crazy. Anyways, I hope you guys like that. And here's that Amiga ball that I had problems really capturing it on the VGA monitor because of the refresh rate, but upscaled, right? It's just really beautiful. Gotta have that Amiga ball. You always see that in my stuff, right? So, yeah. Couldn't end the video without this thing. Yeah. Anyways, now, before it was on the computer, it was, being streamed, and now it's on the flat screen, so I can't capture the color quality. I mean, it's just stunning. I can't capture it with the phone. But anyways, have a good night or a good day.